Welcome back to our video series here, guys. We're going to take a look at the diagnostic section, or what we commonly call the diag section of our lab today. So we're going to go through what's this ticket going to kind of look like, and how are we going to actually be able to navigate through it. And I am telling you now that the diag section is going to be probably the worst section on your lab, because it's all reading comprehension. Now, we remember the CCNP T-shoot exam, right? I mean, you got what was it, like 10 tickets or 8 tickets or something like that, and you basically got a question of, this isn't working. You went into the devices and you would say show run, essentially. But no, you would say show run section BGP, or you would do your show command, your debugs, whatever, figure out what the problem was, and but you couldn't change anything, right? But you had CLI access. Then you'd go in and you would say, I think the 3 questions that they asked you were, what device is the problem on, what is the technology that's actually broken, and what would you do to fix it? What would be the actual command you would type to fix this problem? Well, the CCNP T-shoot and the CCIE, what did I say, CCNI? The CCIE diag section and the CCNP T-shoot section are very, very similar, except the CCIE exam took a lot of steroids and got a little bit more obnoxious, because now they give us a lot more information and we have no CLI access. So behind me here is somewhat of what a diag ticket is going to look like. Now, again, I'm simulating this. I've put together this based on some of the tickets that I've seen. Your tickets may not look exactly like this. This is just to give you a general idea of what the diag section is going to look like. Now, you're going to have on the side here, you're going to have a tab, and you're going to have incident 1, 2, and 3. You're going to get 3 tickets in diag, just like your troubleshooting section in your lab. You're going to be able to go back and forth between these 2 sections. So you're going to be able to say, well, I'm halfway through ticket 1 and I'm stuck right now. Let me see if ticket 2 is any easier. It's going to save your progress in ticket 1 automatically, and then you're going to go ahead and go to ticket 2. So you can do that if you want to. So the ticket first, let me just concentrate on this here. The ticket is going to tell you that it is worth 2 points total. You have to get 2 tickets to pass out of the 3 tickets that you're going to have in your diagnostic section. I think it totals 6 points if you get all 3. So essentially you'd have to get 4 points in order to pass. Now, the way that Cisco has laid this out is pretty interesting, because this particular ticket that I've done for you is actually a 2-part ticket. Okay, so you'll notice how in this ticket here, a second here. So you'll notice this ticket, 1 point here, 1 point here. They equal how many points? 2. But you'll notice how each question is a 2-part question. So in order for me to get the 1 point here, I would have to get both of these correct. If I got one wrong, I would not get the 1 point. Okay? So if I got one right here and one wrong here, I would not get the 1 point. So I'm going to have to get both parts correct in order to get that point, both parts correct in order to get that point, essentially getting 2 points in this particular ticket. So that's how the grading is going to work. Again, not all tickets are going to be the same. Not all diag tickets are created equal, but for the most part, this is kind of what you're going to see. Now, I've just added some random types of questions that you may see here. So again, what device do you think the problem is on? What technology do you think could be broken? What device are you actually going to perform the fix on? Because maybe not necessarily the device that's having a problem is where the device is actually broken. So, what device is the root cause, and what device are you going to perform a fix on? They could be different. Believe me, the diag tickets are going to be pretty complicated, so they could be different. And lastly, what solution are you going to type? What command are you going to issue? What could be your solution? This could be really anything. I mean, these questions, again, are not static. You're not going to have the same 4 questions every time, right? Like we did in T-shoot. You're going to have different questions. You could be asked, where is the problem, and what command, gave you the most information, or, you could have any combination of these different types of questions in your diag ticket. What's important, and what I want you to focus on, is the fact that I have to get both of these correct in order to get that 1 point, and in order to get that 1 point here. So in order for me to pass this ticket with a thumbs up, I need to get both of these, essentially all 4 questions correct. Okay, so this ticket's going to start out here by saying, hey, there's been a new ticket assigned to you. So right here we see there's been a new ticket assigned to you. And by the way, you have all this information that you can go look at. This is all reading comprehension. So there's nothing here that has CLI access. You can't click on anything. You can't see a device. All the information essentially that you would want to look at has already been provided for you in some way, shape, or form. Essentially, they've given you as much as they think you really need as a CCIE to fix the problem, or at least to find out what the problem may be. So let me scroll down here a little bit and we'll take a look at what each section is going to look like. So when you click on incident, scroll up, sorry, I scrolled down too far. Oop, got to get this just right. There we go. So when you click on incidents, okay, when you click on the incident tab, notice how this section here essentially stays the same. So you're still going to have incident 1, you're still going to have how many points the whole section is worth. What's happened is this is actually a drop-down box. Okay, so this is now expanded. And, you know, you'll see the plus and the minus sign here, right? So now we go through, and what's going to happen is this ticket's going to be an email chain. So it's going to say, you know, this is from Jiminy Cricket, and it's to the iPexpert help desk, and hey, you know, we performed these changes in the EIGRP, and ever since then our tunnel went down, and it's flapping, and it's bouncing, and blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to scroll down that email chain, and you're going to see the response from your help desk, essentially saying, yeah, can you just give us some more information here? Let me just scroll up a little bit. Yeah, you know, hey, can you give us some more information? Oop, that's not what I wanted. I wanted my pen. Can you give us some more information? And this guy, you know, this is from Tom Clancy. And Jiminy Cricket responds back and says, yep, here, you know, I've given you all the information you need, blah, blah, blah. So you're going to read through this email chain. And it's not going to be a short email chain. And it's not something you're really going to want to skip because there may be some vital information in that email chain. So you're going to want to read it and yet filter out the stuff that you really don't care about. But it's going to be long. It's not going to be short, okay? I'm giving you a short one to explain because I don't want to have a lecture on this for an hour reading through an email chain. But what I'm essentially doing is giving you the idea that you're going to have a long description of what this problem is. Cisco's trying to get you to waste your time. Then what you're going to do is you're going to click on diagrams if they're nice enough to give you one. And again, this is going to be a plus minus. So you're going to have a drop down here that allows you to see the diagram. And it may be a nice one, it may be a not so nice one. But you're essentially going to see the devices that are involved. So I have a tunnel interface here, tunnel interface here. It gives me the IP addresses that are involved. It gives me the loopbacks here. It's not going to be a very detailed diagram, but it's going to give you it's going to give you all the information you need to find and fix the problem. Okay. The next piece is actually where the problem of the diag ticket goes or causes, and that's what the configuration tab. When you click on the configuration, you're going to have, let's say you have half a dozen devices. Again, this is a small diag ticket, so we only have 3 devices that are involved. But in the real lab, you could have half a dozen, maybe more, maybe 8 devices that are involved. And when you click on the configurations tab, it is going to be 6 to 8 devices. All of the devices that are involved in your topology, in your diag ticket, you're going to have a full-blown show run of those devices. So you're going to have 3 pages of running config. Now this is again a short one because I'm just using this to illustrate to you what it's going to look like, right? But you're going to have to go down and you're going to have to say, okay, I'm troubleshooting an EIGRP problem over a tunnel. And so I'm going to scroll down and let me just see everything that I have going on here. Let me see if I can get this actually just right. All right. So essentially you're going to have to yourself point to things like, okay, I'm doing a summary here. Here's my tunnel interface and here's my EIGRP configuration. Is this the hub or the spoke? What device am I on? You're going to have to look at, do I have no split horizon on? I mean, you're going to have to look at all of these things inside of the running configuration output that you've gotten. You'll have no CLI access to run a debug or to look at the status of your DMVPN or anything like that. It's going to be, you know, do I think the problem was with the DMVPN? I don't know. Let me look at this DMVPN interface and then let me scroll down to the next router and take a look at its DMVPN interface, and then let me scroll back up and look at the diagram to see who's the hub, who's the spoke, and so on and so on and so on. So that's how you're going to have to put this diag ticket together. That's how you're going to have to go through this. It's not going to be, it's going to be a lot of information all laid out for you in one long, you know, 20-page diag ticket, and you're going to have 3 of them. And if you do the math, it essentially comes down to 10 minutes per ticket that you're going to have to do. Lastly, if they're nice enough to give it to you, you're going to have a log section. The log section is going to maybe give you some type of log output or something that's going to help you to hone in on what the particular problem is, all right? And then when you scroll all the way up, based on all that information, you're going to come all the way back up here and you're going to answer your 2 questions that are 2 parts each, essentially your 4-part question, and get the 2 points for your Diag ticket. So this is going to be honestly one of the hardest parts of your exam. Essentially what this is in the V4 days, we had the open-ended questions where it would ask you a question and you had to describe it, you had to write down, your answer. Essentially, this is the open-ended questions, except they've moved them into multiple choice. So you really need to prepare for this. You really need to learn how to pick things apart and really need to understand the technology. You really need to be able to read through configurations and be able to pick out where the problem is, all right? So again, I hope this was informative. I'll see you guys in the config video.